Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, and welcome to my live. I spoke to a few people and I said, I love doing lives because I don't have to edit. And doing lives is like, here I am, I'm live, I'm coming to you with the 411 of the shenanigans of as above, so below. I'm just wanting to be real and raw. That's why I love lives. Doing and then sometimes edit. Maybe I should pre-record and then edit. Good morning. To edit it. So that's something I'm going to have to learn is how to edit my videos. Yeah, because I'm always afraid, like in editing, will I snip something out that I wasn't supposed to snip out and then it's gone and I can't get it back? Like, "Oh my god, that was a important piece." So, with my lives, it's like, here I am, just doing my thing. So, for those who are just joining me and stayed in this first 1-minute introduction, my name is Mary Jane Tracy, and I come to you with a 411. I'm also I the psychic medium is a part. I think that slowly I'm not gonna be promoting that as much as being a spiritual love of life coach. That's more into my alignment, being a spiritual love of life coach and an astrologer, and wanting to bring you some information not only about change of life, like menopause, but also why you're feeling so flatlined. Well, not flatlined, I think flat. Sort of trying. I call this kind of like the sorting hat day. So any of my Harry Potter fans will understand what the sorting hat is. It's like you're trying to sort where you are wanting to go and what you are wanting to do. Things are going to be starting to be revealed more and more this week and the unfolding of the world. I found it interesting that Mount Etna erupted yesterday. And as I saw it, I went, oh, Uranus. That's the first thing I thought because Uranus is uranium, it's explosions, it's electrical, right? And just these plumes going up and then the side of the mountain coming out. Also, the forest fires that are happening, and we've been having forest fires for the last several years, like 3 years or so. Um, and just crazy, crazy forest fires. I think people are just getting to a point that it's just a lot of energy. Things are exploding, things are changing within our world. Now, some of the things that I kinda pulled up, um, with this is that we're coming also to, like, the final degrees of Jupiter. Jupiter's at 28 degrees today, it's moving to 29 degrees. This is a turning point in the collective. He is stays in a sign for about 1 year, and we're in the last week of Jupiter in Gemini, and it's anything but quiet. Jupiter is going to amplify anything that is out there. Right? So it's um, extravagance, it's expansion, it's sitting at the anaretic degree. And this is the last critical degree of where it is in the twin sign. And this is culminating a year-long journey in information, speech, data, qualities, mind maps. When Jupiter is in Gemini, he doesn't like Gemini because Jupiter is Zeus. He feels he's the god. He's the god of the heavens. He knows he's the dude, right? And so he's in a lower octave of learning, what they call the lower octave. So that means like, when you go to school and everything that you have to learn in school, and we're coming into June, June's graduation. So we're entering into this graduation time of June, moving on into Cancer. And this is when it's doing this. This is where we're going to see squares to Neptune and squares to Saturn. And this is going to be, I think, the third square over to Saturn, but they're in cardinal signs. That means that they're the leader. They're the leader, right? Um, 57 people have been charged with the fire so far. Oh, interesting. Um, this is where you're going to find false prophets. This is where you're going to find digital reveal tents. This is where some uh, touched the divine and others got lost in the fog. This is what, because the Pisces, when Jupiter joined Neptune in 2022, it conjoined in Pisces, right? And as it was going through, this is where it was like opening floodgates to dreams, disinformation, spiritual awakening. That was an age of false prophets, the digital reveal, the tense, and where some touched, some saw some people saw the disillusions. Remember, Jupiter expands things. Neptune is propaganda. So expanding that propaganda, expanding that information. Now we're going to come to a square where it's going to really like force you to really look at things in real, like holy fuck kind of thing. And this Jupiter squaring Neptune, when it comes in from an air sign, well, Neptune is in a fiery sign. So it's like going from a fire, air is pumping it to this water sign, and that there's no hiding things. You can't hide things. Gemini's collective information like shiny shells, and Neptune dissolves boundaries until you are not sure what's real. So we're going to see leaks of information and psychic intuition. This is going to be a rise of conspiracy talks, some true, some not. We're going to see fantastical promises in politics or the media. Our politicians are going to come out and they're going to promise things that are just pure fantasy. They're not real, right? So this is spiritual awakening versus spiritual bypassing. This is where you are coming into the grounding. This week is intense. This is like, we're coming into a lot more intensity. And it's where the fire is just heating up. This is the third or final square of the series, and Saturn in Aries. This is where we're also coming to the end of, a lot of people call it the fourth turning. And that's when Uranus goes into Gemini. And so we're coming to the end of a cycle. So there's a lot of things that are coming into the endings. But through these endings, there is these beginnings. But a lot of these beginnings are not really written out. They're not really, it's the new spiritual energetic way. And Jupiter and Gemini wants options and all the ideas at once. And we want to have that. That's what we've been trying to do. We've been like over consuming so much information in this last year, and so much information has been coming out from, you know, um, the food additives in our food. RFK Jr. has been talking about that. We've been, finding out how manipulation and everything's been happening within the government, and seeing it more in our face, and the manipulation within our face. Some people got it, some people didn't. You saw it within the Canadian election. We're seeing right now in it's Denmark, the government is falling and they're having huge problems with immigration, and things are happening there. So there's huge disruptions that are happening, and people are starting to feel the volcano, feel the eruptions happening. And Saturn says, prove it, show up and ground it, right? This is where also that you may be feeling that truth being censored, debated, and regulated, and the real world consequences to flights of flights of fancy. And this is being asked to choose a lane and stick with it. This is like, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing. And Jupiter says, dream big, but don't bullshit yourself. It's great to dream big, but if you are in a fantasy world about your dreams and you are not sorting it out, and you are not putting down through the sorting hat, what is it that I need to do? Then you're going to find you're going to be blown out. You're going to just be blown out. Mercury rules Gemini, and he's here to stir the stew. He's going to activate this square, and we're going to get downloads, headlines, and revelations, and possibly miscommunications that blow it all up open. Because Mars or Mercury is going to meet up with Jupiter, and this is going to be the first, he's not going to meet up with him for another year. It takes him a year to go around. So he's not going to meet up with him again in in blah, speak, Mary, speak. There's just so much information and so much I have to do today that my I gotta slow down. My Mercury's overrunning my mouth. Just saying, just saying. My Mercury's overrunning my mouth. Whew. Breathe. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, good. That's part of the test. The final degrees is not a quiet ending, it's a portal. This is cosmic. And this is where truth is up for review. And we can't believe every dream, every meme, or voice. We got to listen inward. This is choose one vision to anchor it. Not all possibilities can come with you. And we need to detox. Detox in, limit information overload, ground your nervous system. Um, this is what we need to start looking at in within our own lives. Look at what you are intaking within your body as well. And see where that leads you. What are the things that you can begin to eliminate that are toxic um within your world? And this could be, maybe you stop utilizing bottled water. I noticed a lot of bottled waters are going to glass. Interesting. So watching, what kind of bottled water are you intaking? For instance, if you're going to, um, as I'm eating Cheetos. Oh, Cheetos. Yeah, you're gonna love me on this. Cheetos are my pet peeve. Like, that is one thing I never allowed my children to eat was Cheetos. There is something about them, like, because I felt if they're changing your hands orange in your mouth, your whole interior is gonna be orange, right? And fruit roll-ups. Ah! All the chemical dyes in fruit roll-ups. Oh my god. I remember I used to get them for my kids, and then one time, my when my son was eating them, and he ate a couple, he got into the box. Anyways, and then his his bowel movements were the same color as the fruit roll-ups. It was just disgusting. At least it was coming out, but I'm just saying, what did that do to the whole interior? So then I started thinking about the Cheetos and other things, like, what is that doing to the whole interior of the body? And what does that look like? It's kind of like, when you get chicken pox and they say it's usually worse on the inside than it is on the outside. That was my reference. Sorry. Go enjoy your Cheetos. My daughter buys Cheetos for Mateus, and I he's not allowed to eat them in my house. Not allowed to have them. Nope. It's just one of the it's just a weird thing. Just a weird thing I have. There's a couple tarot cards that came to me. One was the moon card, which is one of the cards that I have a hard time relating to, and it's the confusion. And that confusion is reigning right now. And but so does magic. So the moon invites us to walk the uncertainty. So when you look at the moon card, you have the two wolves that are there. You have the lobster coming out. The lobster is the consciousness, arising out, right? And that you have to walk through these pillars and walking through. So how, there's a lot of illusions that are there, so be aware of those illusions, but don't stop walking. You got to continue on walking through this. Fluorite is a crystal that came, for clarity, discernment, and mental cleansing. And of course, lemon balm. I'm on a lemon balm. I didn't find any passion flower yesterday, but anyways, I digress. To soothe the nerves and clear away mental fog. So it's like I trust the truth that arises from within me, and I release the illusions and walk in clarity. We are in this Gemini mind meets the Virgo moon, the sorting before the storm. This is where the Gemini sun and the Virgo moon kind of day. So you can feel it, the vibes, cerebral but fuzzy. And while everything should be connecting somehow, it's kind of like I need to add some more air into it, right? I need to pump it up. And with the Jupiter graduation portal, that's what I'm calling it. Jupiter sits at 28 degrees and about to square Neptune and Saturn, preparing for a full identity crisis and rebirth. The gods of growth wrapping up from his info binge and packaging his bags and going into Cancer, the land of feeling, family, and ancestral memories. So a lot of emotions, from everything that you're learning, everything that you're seeing, you're going to have a lot of emotion that's going to come in, but you can't like bear gauge yourself away from that. That information is going to come in, right? And the sun isn't really squaring anything, just letting Mercury run the show. And the moon in Virgo is like squaring the Mercury and the Jupiter in Gemini, details clash with bigger pictures. So much download. That's why it's sorting. That's why we have to sort, because this weekend, and as we're going into the weekend, it's just the intensity is going to come in more. And we got to trying to interrogate the last year of the mental expansions that have been going on in our lives, and about the shifts in the signs, our values, we're impatient and we want action. We want things to happen now. We're tired of just sitting around and waiting. That's why certain things just are not, you know, we're just like, yeah, whatever. Aliens landed in Miami a couple years ago. Whatever. Oh, yeah. People are seeing orbs everywhere. Oh, whatever. People, oh, there's forest fires. Yeah, whatever. See, people are becoming desensitized, and you can't become desensitized. That's a big one, because if you become desensitized, that means that you become numb, and then you do the spiritual bypassing. And when you do the spiritual bypassing, then you just get into a real crazy tornado scenario that you're wondering why things aren't coming together the way that you would like them to come together. It's because you decided not to really pay attention to things and just do la 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 la, as you walk along the lane. This is like with the Saturn and Neptune in Aries is 3 and 2 degrees, is retrograde distorting the fire and preparing for karmic shutdown. Mental chaotic. This is windstorms. This is, I can't stress this more. We are entering into some crazy. We're waiting to see what Putin's going to do, right? We have the G7 summit that's coming up. There are there is machinery here that I've never seen before that's going through Calgary. They are doing, they're practicing and everything, shutting down, and everything else, roads and stuff like that. And then even if to go out to Kananaskis during that time, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, it's going to be high security to go for going out there. And all of the big dudes, I believe, are staying out in Kananaskis and area. So this is really, you know, a big thing that's happening. And I feel like it feels almost like it's more important now with this summit than ever before. This summit is kind of like a turning point that is coming in. And I feel for us, this is where decisions feel important, but they're not clear. And the body says, do the small things, the Virgo moon, but the mind keeps spinning in this Gemini stellium, right? All this information coming in. So you're being asked to file the data, clean the psychic deck. If you can do some scrubs, if you can, um, you know, wash your floors, like put some vinegar. If you're able to, put some vinegar into your wash, like how you are washing or cleaning up and stuff. Add some vinegar in there. Vinegar is a really good cleanser. It really helps to um, keep the negative spirits at bay, you know? So bringing, adding vinegar to your wash, and your cleaning routine is important. It's one of those things that are cheap, and it's something that we need. Funny you say that, because that's what I've been doing the last couple of days. Yeah. So I do it automatically. I've been doing it for you. I just sometimes a lot of things that I do for my own cleaning and things like that, I don't say anything. I just do it. Um, I mean, Olivia's boyfriend or whatever he is, um, he was going up the stairs and he's picked up there's this little thing of salt with black salt. He's like, "Oh, here, I don't know what this is." And Olivia goes, "Nope, put it down, put it back, put it back." And he's like, "Whoa!" And I just laughed. I just like, "Oh, that's just for protection." And he goes, "Oh, okay, okay." And I said, "Olivia knows what it is." And she goes, "Oh, okay," because she's just like, "Don't touch that." I train my kids well. Sometimes it comes out in the craziest moments, right? But, but this is what's coming up this week. Mercury's conjoining Jupiter. It's the final download. So use it. Information's going to come in. You're going to have dreams, what have you. This is writing it down. This is where more information is going to come in. Cancer wave incoming. By the end of the week, Venus and then Mercury enter Cancer, right? So Venus, well, not Venus entering Cancer, but Venus is going to be coming out of Aries and going into Taurus, where she loves. So she's coming out of craziness, but she's going to be squaring Pluto. Now she hates Pluto. Why? Because she doesn't like Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio don't go well together. And when you have a Venus in Scorpio, that means it's you, when it's coming to foundations and that it can be overwhelming. You can have the negative side where you can get too attached and too slimy, too kind of thing. I call it like the crazy Italian. The overzealous energies can come in with that Venus, because Venus wants bougie. She wants pretty. Scorpio's not bougie, right? We're certainly not bougie. We don't. I'm just looking at my place. It's like, no, it's not. It's a mix match of things. You know, this is where Venus wants, oh, well, no, you can't, you got to have things together. You got to have things that look really nice, kind of thing. And have the what you like, and sticking to what you like. Don't compromise what you like, where Scorpio might say, "Eh, okay, yeah, I do like it, but hey, I'll just get this for now," kind of thing. That's Scorpio. And this is where this energy, this conflict, and now Pluto's in Aquarius. It's in air. It's like saying, no, you got to look at things. You got to look at things. You got to look at humanity. You got to look at it. And she's like, for fuck's sake, I'm home. I just want to relax. Right? But she's not going to be able to. And the Mars retrograde preview. So Mars now, in Leo, and it's heading, it came out of Cancer, and came out of that retrograde. This is where we are going to be getting some downloads information. Um, Preludes, watching emotional triggers, family dynamics, national drama, right? We have two countries. I mean, our country's Cancer, and so is the United States. And that's, kind of an important thing. So we're watching the propaganda, we're watching the sudden shifts in political alliances, um, revealed truths, cloaks, and lies. Watch things to do with water. That's why water kept coming in for me. So how you're drinking your water, where your water is coming into. Neptune, health related issues. He also rules the weather. So weather's going to be really erratic for him being in Neptune. Neptune in Aries. So there's a lot of things that are going to be very erratic and um crazy, right down to right now in the UK. They're debating, should we block the sun? Like, who debates that shit? It's like, no, no, everybody knows that. You don't do that. That's where you're going to have death. You're not going to have crops growing. You're going to have so many things that are going to pop up and ailments that are going to happen. Like, it shouldn't even be a debate, right? So this is surprising announcements and reactions. So Putin keeps coming in. So nationalists, flare ups, the craziness that's happening in Paris again. Bloody French. So there's a lot that's going on. So there's a sorting day. Here it is. What truth am I clinging to that no longer resonates? What story wants to be retired? And what feelings have I ignored while chasing information? And bring in fluorite, bring in Blue lace agate, beautiful. Calming, mental clarity, bringing in calming of the nerves. Adding some chamomile tea in the evening to soothe the gut brain tension, right? And the moon card is there because we have to look into the sorting and what is there. But the thing is that the sword, the Knight of Swords, so don't rush to speak or decide, right? Take that moment. And here's our mantra for today. I take time to sort the truth from the noise. What's meant for me will land with clarity. I take time to sort the truth from the noise. What's meant for me will land with clarity. There you go, guys. Have a blessed one. And if you're wanting to join me for my series, um, my Sacred Summer series, it's $50 for June. So if you want to just join me for June, June started. I know it's the 3rd, but it's self-directed. It's very easy. If you want to join me for June, let me know. Or if you want to join me for the whole summer, the June, July, August, it's $100. It's part of a sacred, this is a Sacred Summer series. We're going to have a fall series, a winter series. So, yeah, it's going to be for me, it's helping not only myself in doing this and writing this out, but it's also to help other people upon this journey and the crazy energies that are going to be coming in um, a lot faster, and especially by the end of this week. So have a blessed one, everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Blessings. Bye bye.